Welcome to Everyday Flutter. Building a form with validation is what we are diving into today. We will design this beautiful screen first, then after we will add the validation. As a developer, your app may require a user to enter information into a text field or tapping on a checkbox, etc. In this tutorial, you will require a user to log in your app with an email address and password combination. To make sure your app is secure and easy to use, you must check whether the information the user has provided is valid. In this tutorial, you will learn how to add validation to a login form. If the user correctly fill out the form, the information will be processed. If the user submit incorrect information, we will display friendly error messages letting the user know what went wrong. Let's get started. We have created a new Flutter app using Android Studio. So we need to clean all these default code for this counter app, and we are going to create all of the necessary folders and add the assets that we will be using for this tutorial. So I'm going to create screen directory. I'm going to create team directory, and I'm going to create the assets directory. So I'm going to add the image or the logo that we'll be using for this tutorial. After adding the logo, for this logo to be accessible in the application, I have to add it in the pop spec YAML file. So I'm coming down to assets, comment this out. So with this / after the images, that means the application will be able to read all of the images or files that will be placed in the images directory or folder. So after add, I'm going to hit pop get. So I'm going to create my screen that will be used for the form. I'm going to create my theme color file. The colors I'm going to be using, input. These are the colors I will be using, and I'm going to work on the page we'll be using for the form. I'm now going to import this form in the main dot file. So let's work on our form. So let's remove this debug banner. We need to decide how we are going to lay out this screen. We have the logo up here. We have this welcome patrons. We have these form fields. We have this remember me and checkbox. And we have the sign in button. Let's apply our background color. So this dark purple color is from this theme class that we created earlier. I'm going to create our first expand it, and we're going to create our second. Going to add a column for our form. We are going to wrap our image in the padding widget. We're going to further wrap our image we want to give padding to our screen, and we're going to wrap our form with the padding widget. And we're going to give it 40. There you go. Come back to our form. So let's add the form elements. I'm going to add the welcome text. So this is the welcome text, and we'll have a style of white color, font width of W100, and font size of 30. Next is to add the email field with the icon with this gradient. Next is to add the email. There it is. So for the email, we use the text form field. We added a style that gave it this white 60. We added input decoration. For hint text, we add enter email address that is down here. And we provide a hint style for that. Um, for the icon, we use this email, and to provide the gradient, we use shader max. I will provide a link in the description to the documentary so you can read more and understand how to use it better. But essentially, we use shader max to provide the gradient um, to the icon. Next is the password field. So it's essentially the same thing. Um, Hint text to show the enter password, and we use shader max to provide the gradient color for the icon. Next is remember me.
We use a row as the container and its children to place the inner widget horizontally. The checkbox uses a variable remember password which holds the value if the checkbox is checked or not. So let's declare it. For the remember me text,
We added a pink purple for the text style. The button and the button. For the button, we use the same shader max to provide the gradient for the background color of the button. And the size box with width double that infinity allow the button to stretch from one end to the other end. Now we need to add spaces between these form elements. To add spaces, we are using size box. in our guide there we see that the image is taking up this merge space and the rest is taking up this merge space. So to do that, we're going to apply flex to the extent. This is going to add flex of 3 and this is going to add flex of 6.
Oh, okay. There's something wrong. The form elements are not taking up the space
Let's go.
they should. Okay, I see. They are not in the expander widget. Let's put them in the expander widget.
Okay. There you go. We need a grid space between the welcome patron and the email field, text field here. So that const. And we add a size box. So I guess that it. We we need to add. We need to fix this. So to fix that, we need to add this form in a single scroll view widget. So let's add it. Single child scroll view. Let's add a little more space here. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Let's continue with part 2 of this tutorial, form validation.